A mirror clear, and you will appear as you wish to do. A mirror cracked will give you back a fractured point of view. That little rhyme, it hit a chord. I heard it this week. I heard it during a card reading. It was on an oracle card, and it really hit me on a very deep level. It hit me in the heart, it hit me in the gut, it hit me in my soul. And there were so many aspects of it that hit. It was like a firecracker going off, and it was like, whoa, such a simple little rhyme, and yet so profound. Welcome to Spiritual Midwife, the podcast that tenderly guides you through the transformative journey of spiritual awakening and personal development towards the ultimate destination of soul sovereignty. I'm Claire Attio, a medicine woman and dedicated guide to the profound realm of soul sovereignty, and you are listening to Spiritual Midwife. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. A mirror clear, and you will appear as you wish to do. A mirror cracked will give you back a fractured point of view. That little rhyme, it hit a chord. I heard it this week. I heard it during a card reading. It was on an oracle card, and it really hit me on a very deep level. It hit me in the heart, it hit me in the gut, it hit me in my soul. And there were so many aspects of it that hit. It was like a firecracker going off, and it was like, whoa, such a simple little rhyme, and yet so profound. And it had me thinking that with the healing journey and the work that we're doing and the complexities of the movements and the shifts in the energy that we're wanting to create, and also embodying that compassion and having that authenticity, but also learning to put up boundaries and then hold those boundaries, and checking in on those boundaries. Are they too strict? Are they a boundary? Are they a wall? So I'm going to break it down. So if we look at the mirror clear, our healing journey. Mirror clear, healing begins within. We all know that we have to heal within to get the traction, to get the movement, to get into our north node. And just like a clear mirror reflects our true image, healing begins with that introspection and that self-awareness. It's our responsibility to recognize our wounds, acknowledge them, and actively work towards healing them. And it's only when we've internally aligned can we then project our true selves outwardly. The flip side, and there's always a polarity, because the flip side of that is when we are interacting with others that haven't done the healing, they are not projecting this, they're not showing us their true selves. We're not showing each other our true selves. One, when we're in the sleeping state and we don't realize there's so much healing to do. And two, when we're in the healing, when we're in the depths, in the bowels, in the crutch of doing that healing, we are not still our true authentic self. Are we working towards it? Yes, we are. But are we there? No, we're not. And so there's glimmers and there's glimpses, but then it kind of disappears again. And where did it go? And were they wearing a mask? Is that false? Was I just being sold a lemon there? And so we have all these kind of mental mind games going on almost. I just want each and every one of you just to take a breath and to just sit and recognize the times when you've been on your healing journey, depending on where you are. We will all have memories. We will all still, some of us still be in that space where some days we're feeling great and we can really step into our authenticity because of where we are vibrationally, the work we've done, what's going on in our lives, the people that are around us, the energies that surround us. And then we have other days where we fall back into our old patterns. We put on that mask again. We hide away. We shield ourselves. We've not got boundaries. We've got walls. We've got barriers. We have those two aspects going on. There is a third aspect when it comes to the boundaries and looking at the people that we are habitually surrounding ourselves with. Are they on a healing journey? Have they even started? And if they're not, and they are using their free will not to, how is that being projected on to you? Because they, in that fractured mirror state, because they're not showing a clear version of themselves. But what also happens in that is their beliefs and values, their standards, their morals, what they do in life to hide from themselves, they project onto you. And how much of that are you absorbing? How much of that are you believing? How many programs are running within you because of those projections? And I say this because, and I've said this a million times, and I will continue to say it, and I don't say it because I don't believe in the family unit, because I very much do. But we have to recognize that the family unit, 99% of them are dysfunctional. And in that dysfunction, there has been a lot of projection. And in that projection, there has been a lot of beliefs, patterns, and programs built that do not function for somebody who is about to embark or has already stepped onto the personal development, spiritual growth journey. When you first start out, your priority is what's going on in you, applying the healing that is needed for what's already occurred in this physical life, applying the forgiveness that you need to give yourself so that you can start to first like yourself and then learn to love yourself completely unconditionally. But at some point on that journey, we are all required to look outside of ourselves and take responsibility and accountability for those we are surrounding ourselves with. Apply the compassion, apply the forgiveness, but to be willing to look at the dynamics, look at those that are not healing, and to take on board what projections you may be taking on board. And a classic for me has always been partners judging me by their moral standards, always looking over their shoulder at what I'm doing, because what they do, how they think, how they live has been low vibrational. And so their expectations of me have been the same. And because I haven't been like that because I haven't had those same programs, those same pains. I haven't played them out in the same way. There's then been a massive lack of understanding, and that understanding has been looked at as a mystery, as a puzzle, as if I'm hiding something. And for years, I just think, what is wrong with me? Why do people always think this about me? You couldn't get anybody more boring and more straight-laced. And I do say that in tongue in cheek because for all intents and purposes, with what's out there, I get a bit Googled-eyed, and very often my daughter has to explain things to me. Let's just put it that way. There's a huge part that is still very naive, and I've learned to cherish that about myself. I used to, as a young adult, think that it was a bad thing. I felt, because of how society was, it was a bad thing. Then as I kind of got into older, a more mature adult state, it was almost a stick that I was beaten with. You cannot be like this. This cannot be true. This is not normal. And I'm thinking, well, it is. It's my normal. It is normal for me. I don't want to play these games, and I don't want to be involved in those kind of activities. And I didn't realize it was a projection. I and took it inwards, as if I was doing something wrong in life, that my beliefs and my values were a bit weird and a bit wacky and difficult for people to understand. And yet in my mind, they were very simplistic. They were very straightforward. And they are. The key that was missing in my understanding was their projections. They couldn't understand me because of the healing that was needed within them. A cracked mirror distorts our reflection, much like how our judgments can be clouded by our own biases and insecurities. And it's crucial to understand this aspect of human nature. It's that taking a breath, stepping away, first of all going inwards, being introspective, shutting out all the chaos and all the noise, and communicating with your heart, with your higher self, with divine. What is actually going on here? Is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Am I wrong here? Is there something? Is there a wound playing out? Am I being triggered? And when you've resolved all of that, you can then apply all those same aspects to that person, what is going on, so that you can understand them. The key here is, even though you understand them, unless they want to heal, you cannot make them do the work. You cannot, it's like taking a horse to water, you can't make it drink. The other person has to want to heal. They have to want to see that. And if they're not on that journey, if they're not open to those types of discussions, you keep those observations to yourself, but you love yourself enough that you put up a boundary so that you do not absorb that energy, that projection. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You give it back to them with love, with compassion. You can even say a little prayer that speaks to their higher self, asking that their higher self accept the love that you're offering, and that you hope that that love will help them heal, should they choose to accept it. The fractured mirror causes distortions, which causes misunderstanding, that causes chaos. The last aspect that I want to bring up on this is if you have got a clear mirror and you are communicating or interacting with somebody who has a broken mirror, you will trigger them. You don't have to be doing anything other than breathing to create a trigger, because your vibration is so high, it makes that person uncomfortable. When we're carrying a lot of shadow within us, that brings our vibration down. It makes us heavy. It gives a density, a darkness. Your light will irritate them. And we have the phrase, your light irritates their demons. And I don't want to demonize this, and I don't want to get into good and evil in any kind of religious aspect. But the frequencies will, your frequencies will be so high. It's like having a silent whistle continuously blowing when you have dog ears. It will irritate. And when people get irritated energetically, they act out emotionally and physically. Be aware of this. Again, don't take it inwards and make it about you. It doesn't belong to you. And don't dumb yourself down either. Don't bring your vibrations down just so that person feels comfortable. No, that is not where we're going in the future. That is not part of the soul sovereignty journey. The soul sovereignty journey is to become a beacon to inspire others. It's not about putting yourself on a pedestal and going, there, how wonderful am I? I've done it. Ha 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 ha. It's not about that. We hold people with love and compassion. We give them the time, the space. We give them the prayers. We give them the energy in the hope that they will do the work. We live our lives in a way that inspires others so that they do their healing. They do the work, and we champion them every step of the way. We champion each other every step of the way. Even when you've been on the process and you've got rid of loads of stuff and you're really in a great place in life, there is still healing there. The healing journey never ends. There's always another layer to peel off. There is always something deeper to discover about yourself and uncover about yourself. Be aware when you are on the healing journey, when your mirror becomes clear, it will irritate others. Do not dampen yourself down. Do not take it inward. Take it personally. Why does nobody like me? Oh, you're moving in the wrong circles. You're moving in the circles of old. It's always a really good sign that I wish somebody had actually taught me this many years ago, because I did. I spent a few years going, oh, nobody likes me. What is it? What am I doing wrong? And it wasn't. It was, I was still trying to move in groove in the circles of old, and I had changed. My vibrations had got higher. They had risen. And so that instigated a lot of triggering around me. And I took it very personally, not understanding what was going on. And I made it about me, and I threw myself a pity party. It's not personal. It's our responsibility to go, hey, okay, obviously I'm changing. Obviously my vibrations have changed. Obviously, this group I no longer have a resonance with. I need to now be looking around and finding other like-minded souls that I can vibe with. It's our responsibility. I hope that has helped. Love to hear your thoughts, comments. Leave them in the box below, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care.